Why hello there, and welcome back to Swatororg Short Rest. Still doing Zine Quest stuff. And in this episode I will be looking at Terror of the Stratosfiend, number 3, from Orbital Intelligence. Because I already covered the previous two, and if I didn't do number 3, it would bother me. So this volume weighs in at 90 pages of weird content for Dungen Crawl Classics, and is a little chaotic. Honestly, it seems like each of these is a bit more chaotic than the last, which is thematically appropriate, but makes them a little difficult to describe. This volume adds New Bat City to the setting and also advances the lore a bit, which, as I just said, gets increasingly difficult to concisely describe, so I'm not going to try. Also, there is a brief summary this time to fill you in on the basics of the setting, which the absence of was my biggest complaint about number 2. It's still a little confusing, but there's something to help you along the way. There are 4 new classes in this volume, my favorite this time being the Half-Ogre Demon Engine, who are large humanoids whose hearts have been replaced with cybernetic phylacteries which allow them to power themselves with demonic energy, which requires hunting down and binding demons, the strength of the demon affecting the level of power that you get from them. And that sounds like, well, something that could get annoying if you weren't really into it, but something that would give you a nice little extra bit of involving your character in the world if you were, since you have to hunt down and bind demons in addition to whatever else is going on. And I picked this as my favorite over a Pterodon Raider, so that should give you an idea of the level of content that is in this book. And of course there's also new spells and monsters, a new patron, just a lot of really weird and fun stuff. Like the last volume, there is a lot of different layout and art styles in this book, but this time it does feel a bit more consistent due to a more uniform color palette. And that was Terror of the Stratosfiend, number 3. Another book filled with lots of weird and interesting content, definitely living up to the standards of previous Stratosfiend titles. And everything seems well designed, but it can be a little difficult to navigate. There is a bit of a feeling of being several separate things all stuck together into one book instead of just one consistent book, which is a little chaotic, but once again, that is thematically appropriate for what it is. And of course, great visual appeal with some more consistency over the last one. So overall, another book of weird, cool Stratosfiendery for your Dungen Crawl Classics experience. It is definitely not a standalone book though, you really need the previous volumes to get the most out of it, but they are also good, so there's 3 good books for you to get. Alright, thank you for watching, with extra special thanks to the Fightin' Flail Snails, Samuel Gorski, Randy Mulholland, and SC Woolridge. If you'd like to be cool like them, check out my Patreon where you can get early access to videos and fun stuff that I make for the Patreon. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. You can still hit all of the lovely buttons, like, subscribe, these other videos, which I am sure are lovely videos, which you will also enjoy. And I will see you next time.